Hello, beautiful souls. Today I'm going to bring through the Elohim and also bring through some light language that I haven't done for a while. And I also just want to remind you, if you're new to my channel, you may not know that I'm the author of this book, Conversations with a Tree, which is somewhat self-explanatory. It's actual conversations that I had with two different trees, and it's full of beautiful direct messages from the trees. And so I'll put a link below where you can get that. And I will connect now and bring through the Elohim. I have no idea really what they want to share today. And then I will bring through a light language activation based on what they bring through. And so here I will bring through the Elohim. And so it is, beloved beings of earth, great angels of light, who are so magnificent, so beautiful, so grand, here upon this earth playing small, pretending to be powerless, feeling afraid, uncertain about your futures. And we say to you, dear ones, if only you could see yourselves through our eyes, if only you could see from our perspective the magnificence, the radiance of light that comes from all the light workers on this planet, from all those who carry love in their hearts, and even those who are in despair. You are radiant beings. You are of the Creator. And we say to you, dear ones, all life is magnificent. The very fact of life is a wonder in itself. And so we invite you this day to remember who you are, to invite this awareness of your magnificence into your daily expression. And oh, there are some who will listen to this who would say, how do I find my magnificence when I am in such turmoil, when so much is falling apart around me? And we would say to you, dear ones, we want you to know that you are here because you have experienced many times on many planetary systems where the old was falling apart, where a new order of the day was coming into place. And it takes great courage and great awareness and great consciousness to be a catalyst in a time when the old is falling away and the new has yet to find its ground. And so you are here on purpose. You are here because you have done this before. And yet there has been so much forgetting in this earthly dimension, so much interference in the plan that was the evolution of humanity. And yet we say to you, dear ones, that despite that interference, here you are in this time of making this transition and successfully doing so. We want you to know. We also want you to know, for all of those who are believing in words that are spoken, that you call untruths, wanting to wake people up to what you believe to be your truth, what many would consider as conspiracy. Beloveds, we want you to know that what you will experience is of your choosing. And regardless of what happens in this world that would want to create interference with this evolution, this ascension of humanity and Gaia. Nothing can succeed in stopping you now. There is nothing that can step in the way of your success. So regardless of the beginning of this virus, for example, regardless of what you believe about this, we want you to know that the highest and best outcome is guaranteed. Whether or not it is guaranteed for all is a matter of personal choice. And you may be asking, well, who would choose not to have a positive outcome? We would say that the choice for many is unconscious. For the choice is in what you decide to believe, where you decide to put your attention and your focus, where you allow your mind to go, whether you perpetuate the fear that is traveling around your planet. There are many who are invulnerable to that fear, invincible, not because their physical vessel is invincible, but because they are clear that they are choosing their reality based on what they believe, and they believe that they are having a positive experience. They believe that they are divinely protected. They believe that they are of perfect health and that it is not their choice to become ill, and therefore they are invincible to that illness. And this is not blaming anyone who falls ill. For some it is a valuable learning. For some it is their time to pass, chosen not by some haphazard chance, but chosen by their higher self and their soul as the right time for them to exit the planet. And so there is no blame being laid here. But for those who know that they are choosing to see a new world, to create a new world with every thought that is filled with divine love and grace, for those who can have the understanding that any fear is a pattern of the past and a lack of recognition that you are the creator of your reality, those who understand that they are choosing to see only love, choosing to believe that all change is leading to something better, choosing to know in their own experience that what they are living is a grand shift into a new age that holds such a high frequency that disease and illness and struggle and hardship will simply fall away. And so we would like you to know, dear ones, that it is a personal decision. And that's why everyone is having their own experience. And there are many perspectives as to the source of this virus, to the outcomes of it, to what it is creating in your world. It seems almost that everyone has their own perspective. And this channel is very clear and would like us to speak now of this acceptance that not everyone needs to think about it the way you do. For us to continue to honor our fellow humans, regardless of what they believe and what they feel. We don't need to allow their point of view to be our point of view, but we also don't need to insist that our point of view be theirs. And so we are happy that this one has had the opportunity to speak this, for she hears of people who challenge others to wear a mask or mocks those who do wear a mask. And she realizes that in the new earth, in the high frequency, we allow people to have their own experience. We allow them to be who they are. We allow them to do whatever they need to do to be comfortable and to create some stillness within themselves, the ability to get through these times as best they can. And we would agree with her that in the process of honoring others, you are truly honoring yourself. And in the honoring of the self, you are beginning this belief, this thought about unity consciousness. Unity consciousness begins with everyone becoming one within themselves. So many people give themselves away. They give themselves away to the media and what the media tells you is the truth. They give themselves away to their friends, molding themselves to be accepted by others instead of finding the way of accepting themselves. It is by honoring who you are in every moment that honor returns to the earth. And it is by honoring others that you are truly honoring yourself. And so as you find your way in these times, the message that we want you to hear this day is that it is your decision what the outcome of this will be for you. For there are many potential outcomes, as many potential outcomes as there are people on this planet. For you, yes, live in a mass consciousness, and yet we would like you to know that we could say there is a separation between the experience of what you would call the mass consciousness. It's like there are two groups forming. One is having an experience of hardship and struggle and fear. Others are having the experience of grace and ease and internal awareness and peace. And where you fall between those two perspectives is totally your choice, your decision in every moment of what you choose to believe. So if you choose to believe in hardship and struggle and fear, then that will be your experience. If you choose to believe that divine grace is at play and this is a new world unfolding and the old must crumble in order for the new to awaken and to build a new foundation of a world where all is love and grace and stillness, then they are having that experience. And so it is important for you to know this, dear ones. For some it is hard to receive. It's hard to accept that, oh, this is just my decision. You're blaming me for this terrible experience I'm having. Beloveds, there is no blame. This is not about blame. This is about educating you as to the way that this works in the higher dimensions. For in your 3D experience that you are moving out of, the time span between your thoughts and the manifestation of your thoughts was so broad that there was not the awareness that this thing that just manifested in your life today was from a thought form 2 years ago. There was such a delay in the manifestation of what you were thinking that it was not possible to have the same understanding, the same awareness of the effects of your thoughts. And yet we would say to you now, for some it is almost instantaneous. They think something and later that day or the next day, synchronicities start to show up related to what they have been thinking about. It is the universe's way of saying you are manifesting this as you think it. There are many who are still not aware of that because they are so lost in their thoughts, they don't even have awareness of what their thoughts are. They are so lost in so much turmoil that they would not be able to recognize what is showing up as the manifestation of the thoughts that they had not very long ago. And so this is not about blaming for one's life experience, but helping you to understand that you are in higher frequency energies, as has been building for decades now. And in these higher frequency energies, you are manifesting much faster. So we invite you to observe and be aware that where you see hardship in your life, be aware of how you put your focus on events that hold the same frequency of your hardship. So for example, if your hardship is lack and not having enough money, then be aware of how much time you spend going over in your mind about how you don't have enough money. And then that leads us to the next challenge, which is to move from a state of believing that you don't have enough money and seeing in your life that you don't have enough money to somehow believing that you do have enough money when it appears your life is showing you not enough. And we would say, dear one, that process takes attention. It takes healing for most. It takes time. It takes discernment. It takes awareness. It takes determination. However, if you would like to see your life change, it is worth the investment. And we would say the first step in this process is to become aware of your thoughts. This is step one. And so we invite you, if your life is challenging and difficult, to be aware of your thoughts all day long. State the intention that you are going to be aware of every thought you think. And just catch yourself. You may even set the timer on your phone to go off and challenge yourself if you can know in the moment when that alarm went off, are you aware of what your thoughts were? Or you could challenge yourself that every time you look at the clock, regardless of what time it is, what were you thinking in that moment? These are ways for you to develop these skills of being aware so that you can then begin to change your thoughts and turn them into something positive. For we say once again that each of you are having your own experience. And these experiences are based on where you give your attention, what your core belief systems are, what are the thoughts that arise from those core beliefs. So if you put your focus on your media, you are pretty much guaranteed to be engaging in fear and hardship and struggle. For is that not what your media focuses on? How many good news stories do you hear from your media? Maybe once in a while you hear some good news. But if you would consider the percentage of good news compared to information that could bring you down, could make you feel heavy, you would find that the good news that makes you feel lighter is a very small percentage, perhaps 1 or 2% of what your media shares with you. So that in itself, if you would like to change the way your life is, and you would like your life to improve, we would say that the first invitation would be to release yourself from your media. And if you have difficulty doing that, then what is the addiction to that? What is the pull to that? What is it about it that keeps you pulled in? You could try to fool yourself and say, oh, well, I need to know what's going on in the world. Well, beloveds, we would invite you to know what's going on in your own world, in the here and now, in this life experience, in the room where you are sitting, with the people who you are surrounded, or in the empty room where you are by yourself. Come to know that. Come to know the here and now of your experience. And ask yourself then, in this here and now. Where is the trouble? Where is the difficulty? For some of you, there will be trouble and difficulty, but for the greatest percentage of those who will be listening to this video, there is no trouble, no difficulty in the now moment. And we want you to know that that is where all your experience stems from. And now we know that there are many more who are struggling with this as well. For we know that we are challenging many with these words. And yet our words come from love. Because ignorance will not guarantee your way onto the new earth, you could say. Ignorance will not guarantee your way into ascension. Ignorance will not elevate you into the new frequencies that are now available on this earth. The new frequencies of the fifth dimension that some are currently residing in. Ignorance will not get you there. And that is why we are sharing these words. It is then up to you to decide whether you choose to have the courage and the strength to change, have the determination to do the work that will turn your life around, have the courage to look within at the shadows that are lurking there that keep you so afraid. It is your choice, beloveds. And we share this information with you because we see you. We see your light. We know the love that you are. We know the divinity within you. And we see where you have forgotten. We see where the shadow has been placed over your awareness of the truth of who you are. We see that this earthly journey has been a long, rough, difficult walk. And yet, we want you to know that you are 98% of the way to the top of the mountain, about to step into the light once again. You've been on the dark side of the mountain. Oh, you can see the sun on the horizon at the top, the peak of the mountain, but it seems it never comes over to your side. It rises up and falls back down again on the other side. And so you never get to see the sun, only a shimmer of hope that it is there. But you are 98% of the way there. And when you get to the top, the sun will be radiant and you will see it all day long. And so we want you to know this. This is why we share this information with you. That now, at that point where you are almost at the peak, we are the most tired because you've been climbing this mountain for eons of time. You are so tired. You feel like you can't take one more step. And yet, you're almost there. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to forget who you are. This is not the time to believe all the people at the bottom who didn't even bother trying. It's time to look up and see the people at the top of the mountain who are cheering and celebrating, and they see the light, and they know that the light is there, and they see the beautiful oasis of the new land that lies before them at the other side of this mountain. They see the beauty and the joy and the bliss and the magnificence. They see the lakes sparkling in the light. They see communities gathering together, people lovingly together enjoying one another. Everybody cared for, everybody provided for, everybody safe and loved. Look up to those who are standing at the top, witnessing that magnificence for the first time, and so grateful that they did all they could to make their way to the top. You have the strength, beloveds. It is within you. And with that, we leave you, and we invite this one to bring through a light language activation that will support you in finding that inner strength to do everything that you need to do to find your way to the top of the mountain where the light shines strong. everything you need to do to find your way out of fear, everything you need to do to be aware of your thoughts and have the courage and the faith to turn them around, knowing that divine grace is at play and that this change is leading to something better. Everything that you need to know to find your way back to the light and to your sovereignty and your right to be whole and complete within yourself. And so it is with that we leave you, beloveds. We are so grateful for this opportunity to speak to you, so grateful to this channel to deliver this message that sometimes is even difficult for her to bring through because she would rather encouragement and grace, and yet we say to you, this is the encouragement that you need. This is the information that you need. And we say to you, beloveds, look up to the top of the mountain, see those who have already made it, and let them be your inspiration. And so it is. And so it is, and thank you to the beautiful Elohim. And just as they were finishing, I could hear the little chirping of a hummingbird outside my window, and hummingbirds, if you don't know, represent joy. So there it is. So I will now bring through the light language, and I invite you to just hold your intention based on what the Elohim have brought through, and anything else that you would like this light language to offer you at this time, whatever your particular challenge is at this time. If there are challenges in your life, ask that this light language help you to transform that and transmute it into love and light and grace and ease, and allow yourself to just sit quietly. Allow yourself to feel this light language in your body. If you feel it anywhere, let it wash over you, and invite the higher wisdom within yourself to hold the energy of this light language within your being so that it can elevate you to make your way to the top of this mountain, to be in the light once again. And now I will call in the ancient ones to speak through me in this light language, and give thanks for this activation and this transmission of love through the language of light. Iakna ichma atwa e ikna atwa I, ikshna atwa e itla ichkanai, uktakaha wa hihikna achma I, imakshna atwa e ikna, uakla achkinikna, iakna mikna atwa e I, Ichkna waktaki ichkna atwa e, uktakaha wa ichkna atma I ikna, umaktaha ikla atwa e ichkanai, awiktakaha wa e ikna, yakla ina wa atwa e I na atma I ikshna atwa e I, utakahala wa I ichkanayo, maktiktaka atwa e I, uachkana ila wa na ichkanai, omiktakaha wa e I. Wananai amanianai no anawani ananai yo. Imananai nanai chkananai ananoi ananawinanai nai. Imananoi nananai nananoi nananamanai nananai nachkatachko. Yanawana imananai no inanawena. Imakna ichkana atwa e ikla ichkana atwa e ichkana atma nachka I akna ichkana atwa e ikna atwa e I. Hu tikahalawa e ichkanayo ichkanatka atwa e I akna I malalawa e yo. Inanu Imananai onananai nai nananai na ochkana wa e ilawa. Iana o iana na wae, iana o nana mananania. Iana no, iana na wae, iana na wae, iana. Imana each kawa atwa e itla, each kanayo, each kana wa e. Umaktaka, each kayo, tiktaka, chkana. Imatlawa, each kanayo, each kana atwa e. Hilawa o e chika, each kayo, tika, each kana wale, anawa each kana. They're showing me each of us remembering our magnificence. So in the beginning, some were fallen to the ground, just not believing they could do anymore. And it reminded me of a time when I was going through a lot of struggle in my life. And I remember having this fantasy that, oh, maybe I'd get sick and go to the hospital, thinking that, well, then somebody would be caring for me, which was true. But I also realized at some point I'd have to come home from the hospital and my situation at home wouldn't have changed. Very symbolic of, if I look outside for help, there might be someone who would show up, every now and then, but really I had to help myself. I had to find the strength within to help myself. And it was like that. The light language was helping people understand that it was their work, it was their internal work, and they could do it. And so I saw people standing up, and the ancient ones said, when you stand up, there are others who have just found their way up as well, and you can lean on each other. You won't be alone. And so people stood up and got stronger. And then the light language is clearing old programs, releasing programs that have been there for eons of time and also placed within us, and clearing that, and then anchoring in the new light, also clearing out patterns of pain and suffering that humanity has held as a mass, and then anchoring in new light and showing me people believing in the way and believing in themselves and holding firm in that awareness and that determination to be strong, to find their way, knowing that this is what we all came here for. This time is what we all came here for. To awaken the light at this time, to be here because we knew we could do it. We knew we had the strength. We knew we had the memory, the wisdom, the knowing within us. And so the light language brought that alive within each and every one of us. And so I just want to finish it up now and see what they want to bring through to finish this up. Iwakla achkni ikma ikuna hashna. Imakna atwa ikna atwa ikna atna I. Wakshaha makla iachna I maktaka achwa eitna. Miakla ij kanayo taktaka eitwa I. Iachna I makla wa ikna atwa ei. Maktikta wa atwa ei kanai. O chikana atwa ei. Maktaka halawa a ij kanai. O waktaka hei kana. They're saying that Gaia, Mother Earth, has endured so much. She's almost to the point of not giving up, but of having endured as much as she can possibly endure without having to create some big change. So it was this invitation for us to connect with Gaia and know that she too is at her wit's end, you could say. And yet she waits for us patiently. She could shake us off. She could make things happen, but she's waiting. So it's not just us who have endured so much. She has as well. And yet we're here together. And so the invitation was to connect in with Gaia, really ground into the earth. That's where we will find the grace and the strength that will get us through. So connect in with the earth. Be really grounded in. Remember nature. Remember to love her. Remember to go to the trees and give them your worries. There is a story I'm going to share soon from a friend who was moved to tears by the trees because they're waiting for us. They love us so much. Most people don't know this, but they are here to help us, and they love nothing more than being able to help us. So perhaps if you buy this book, Conversations with a Tree, it will help you, because there's a woman I was doing a session with this week who is reading this book, and suddenly she's connecting with the trees around her, and the connection that they have for her and the love they have for her, it's magnificent. So nature will help us all ground into this experience and find our strength and find our way through. And if you just look at the tenacity of nature, you will know that you can make it. So beautiful beings. It's so wonderful to be here with you. And I thank you for just being present with this information, for taking it in, for allowing it to be your experience, and to remember your guides when you need support, when things are feeling difficult for you. We have to ask. They can only help us when we ask. So remember, you cannot ask too much. And all I would say is to be grateful for them and have gratitude for what they offer you, and expect to see what you ask for delivered. It may not happen overnight. It may not happen instantly. It depends on our life experience. But know that they are doing all they can to help us. Okay, we will see you soon. So much love.